Zeynep Tusipova, self-portrait, 1999, canvas, oil. She entered the world of Kazakh art in the 70s of the last century, immediately revealing the rare gift of the true painter and amazing colorist, a person of observation looks and loyalty to her theme. Her personality can be characterized by three concepts: talent, temperament, diligence. She is probably the most recognizable artist in Kazakhstan today, because throughout her life, throughout her career, she remained loyal to that pictorial language, the manner which she uses to this day. Zeynep is one of our three famous painters, such as Aisha Galimbayeva, Gulfayruz Ismailova, because she is a person that is very faithful to the canons of fine art and the craft of the artist. And she looks at the world through these classical canons. But the fact is that Zeynep Tusipova is a deeply national artist. She is a person deeply committed to the earth, nature, the place where we all live. And probably she is one of the few such Kazakh artists, because her work is a complete reflection of the environment where she lives. Each artist is determined by his theme, and many artists look for their theme almost half of their lives, but eventually find it. And Zeynep, one might say, was born with her theme. She was born as an artist. Zeynep represents her small homeland Aktogay, just as Cézanne glorified his Provence in his time. The place where he was born, grew and developed. The whole world knew its apples, its pears and bulbs. The whole world discovered the mountain of Saint Victoria. The unremarkable and low mountain became a place of pilgrimage for all artists. Everyone aspires to go, see, breathe the air. Probably Aktogay becomes just such a place known for all of Kazakhstan and far beyond Kazakhstan. Here are her pictures. Wherever they were exhibited, everyone notes that wonderful fragrance, which can be called in one word, the gift of God. At first, her father noticed a rare gift of Zeynep Tusipova. He was a teacher of geography and biology in the modest rural school. He had a notebook. There he painted frogs, horses, any animal. And there was a skeleton painted in pencil or pen. I looked at him. I was small, and at that time I was sitting next to him. He gave me pencils and said, "Let's draw." I started drawing a teapot, cups, the radio. And he said to me, "Oh, I'll make an artist. I'll take you to Galimbayeva Aisha Apay and Kosteyev. You will be an artist." And then 15-year-old Zeynep went to Alma-Ata and entered the art school, the theatrical and decorative faculty. She lived with her brother. She learned about the creativity of Russian classics, Repin, Surikov, Kuznetsov. She enjoyed the works of legendary French Cézanne, Toulouse-Lautrec. She entered the school of painting and life. drew a lot of sketches, which immediately attracted the attention of connoisseurs. The works of Zeynep Tusipova tell us what is dear to the artist's heart.
У Зейнеп любимая тема, вы знаете, это казахский аул.
Zeynep's favorite theme is the Kazakh owl. Current state of Kazakh owl, and unlike many of today's artists, she does not draw such beautiful girls, beautiful pictures. In fact, in modern pictures, a glamorous Kazakh owl is described. But in the summer, Zeynep goes to her homeland. She lives this life among her relatives, among her aunts and nephews. And then they become her heroes, her heroines. She draws that she knows well, what she understands, what she likes. And this, of course, is felt in her paintings. This is the immediacy of feelings, the sincerity of emotions. This is real patriotism, true patriotism. A lot of work was done. I also liked it, and then people liked it too. After all, if I do not draw this owl, so no one would know it. But at least they know. I called my village Aktogay. All these Aktogay landscapes, then Janatas landscapes, then Karatau roads, which led us to Almaty. The road to Karatau was exhibited in Moscow at the All-Union exhibition. And in Minsk too. My mother said to me, although she was uneducated, but she was very smart. Zeynep, she said, you showed our Aktogay to the whole world. We revealed a simple life where the day replaces the night with its daily troubles and problems. Cooking, caring for animals, housework. And all these happen in the immediate vicinity of nature, amazing landscapes that surround a modest life. Zeynep always relies on full-scale impressions. Any of her paintings, any of her works is based primarily on what she saw. And this attitude to nature, the attitude to what is happening on our native land, it is much felt in each of her canvases, because it is such a quiet love for the country. Quiet, but it is very spiritual, very warm. She is full of empathy. That's why we see her search for some color situations, the search for some compositional ideas. It is important for her to be realistic. It is important for her to convey primarily the warmth of the way of life in general. We see women who live in Aul, their sincere, not staged life. And the names of the canvases speak for themselves. They are getting ready for the wedding. The butter is shaken. The meat is cooked. The baursaks are frying. Remember Van Gogh, his famous eaters of potatoes. Peasants sit and eat potatoes with wooden spoons from dented ceramic pots. And they have dirty shoes on their feet. They are dressed, but the world is revealed. The world that Van Gogh, in general, saw in his work. And it's not that you have to colorize and make a popular print that reflects some completely different qualities. Zeynep creates the ordinary world of man. The world is not ceremonial. Such an ornamental image, namely the image of the world in which we live. Not everything is so bright and unusual. This is for exhibitions, for some magazine covers. It is all suitable. But in order to create a story about life, about the picture, about thoughts, to my mind, she deliberately does not take away these attributes.
не убирать.
Some incompetent people blamed the artist. People say, why do you draw all women so ugly? Others have beautiful faces. I answer, in the village, when you wash clothes, cook, look after the herd, how can you get the beautiful face? The sun and the wind affect man's skin. They have a dark, wrinkled face, dressed in a home-like manner. I will not paint them a beautiful face. They are simple people, hard workers, who feed the city, supply meat to us and send vegetables. They are not walking dolls. Of course, she has a powerful gift, a strong gift. She's really patriotic, but I love her for her independence. She loves subjects related to the Kazakh aul. She drew them during the Soviet period, in the period of independence, and she draws them now. She does not give in to some temptations of the time. She is not bothered by the fact that we regularly hold exhibitions dedicated to certain specific dates. She has her own theme, which she loves, to which she is devoted, and it is her independence, I believe. The year of 1991. Zeynep Tusipova returns from Turkey, where her personal exhibition has just been successfully completed. The artist feels a spiritual uplift, full of inspiration and creativity, and her works gain some new colors and images. On canvases, still life is born. Bouquets of peonies, lilacs, tulips, wildflowers. They seem to explode the artist's palette with juicy chords of colors, with strong strokes of the brush. The image of flowers in Zeynep's work is just a separate story, because somehow in the 90s she suddenly began to write luxurious bouquets. We have one such work. These are flowers that can be more easily pictured. But at the same time, such strokes are wide, and again we feel all this elasticity, the life of this flower. How does it achieve this? It would seem that if you take a composition, it spreads them so widely on canvas. They are not in vase somewhere. They are not some stationary ones. They just live, grow, blossom. Again, it is a generosity of Zeynep. She scattered these flowers. I do not like how artists draw flowers. But Zeynep has an amazing lilac. Each brush of this lilac has its own shape, and I like these qualities in her flowers. Some kind of surprisingly emerging personality that she attaches to her flowers. Here they are alive. They seem to be wriggling, stretching toward the light, toward the sun. She feels the currents of life. As Van Gogh assumes these currents of life, this burning sun Arlie showed in his sunflowers. So amazingly Zeynep shows this individual life of each flower. There is one facet of her work where her tenderness, femininity and fragility of nature are represented. These are still lives. They are the most delicate flowers. They are strong and yet gentle and touching, subtle. This is her feminine essence. This is her love of flowers. You will find such color overflows. We'll find so many nuances and shades, and we'll see both tenderness and fragility of colors. And in general, some kind of soulful love for nature. Flowers for her are personification of natural forces, living natural forces. Her main teacher is nature. It really is. If we remember Goya's words, he told his teachers were Rembrandt, Velázquez and nature. Thus flowers and the landscape and man are the most important representatives of this very nature which is under the sky. It is light up by the sun, it germinates, is born, moving. And the artist also energetically lives under the sky, works, moves and travels. Zeynep Tusipova makes a lot of foreign trips. These are also the international creative seminars in Zenes, Gurzuf, Jurmala, and international exhibitions in Mozambique, Seoul, Cairo, and tourist trips to Greece, India, Turkey. And from everywhere she comes back with new sketches, canvases. And now we see the African from Mozambique, or life on the roof in the Pakistani city of Karachi, or fortress of Qaitbai Baba, the mosque Baybars, meetings with the pyramid in Egypt. And she has an amazing sensuality for everything that she sees. Let it be in the Emirates, or in Greece, or in Turkey, or in Korea, in Russia. In any place she will find exactly such an element that will be remind of her small homeland. With those feelings. And this amazing quality of the artist is revealed anywhere in the world, wherever she is. If she cannot go out the street in winter, she can draw from the window, and this will work for her. So Dostik Avenue and the Peak of Abay were made, and other beautiful places were drawn by the artists like Mideo, Koktebe and Turgenev. I remember one situation. We were returning from the Mideo, one more trip to the mountains. We went and there we saw poplars, our Almaty poplars growing. Zeynep stared at something and I thought, where she looks, what is it? And then she said, I drew that poplar a week ago, and it turns out I did one thing wrong. Now I have realized that I need to do this. And I thought that the artist does not fall asleep. The artist will create while he is interested in life, and she is interested in life, really, deeply, sincerely. So I think she is in the prime of her creative powers, her creative talent, landscape, still life, portrait. Zeynep's brush can draw everything. She wants to succeed more. She is constantly in search. She constantly wants to do experiments, but at the same time, there is still such a thing as her creative manner, because she is always recognizable. And we know many artists who are fond of experiments, because you need to impress the public. You need something to submit a new one. You have to prepare something. And for Zeynep, it does not matter. She lives in this world. She represents it, continues to represent. If the world is this humanistic, we mean the world we speak about, and where we aspire to live in, the world of the family, the world of the people, the world of society. It must be exactly harmonious. That is what Zeynep has. And that is why she is loved by many people. And that is why she is understandable and close to the most of us. The world represented by Zeynep Tusipova is organic and multifaceted. The colors that she uses are close to nature. The tone is kept, the color is close to the subject, and the themes and the palette of the artist are close to the creativity of her ancestors nomads.